All right, so this is going to be my review of Dark Knights of Steel. This was a book sent to me by my friend Chris. Thank you once again, brother, from the bottom of my heart for this, as well as the other books you send me. I know things aren't exactly going well for each of us right now in our own private lives, but I wanted you to know, bro, I know you're watching this, but here for you, man. Anyway, I'm not going to go into detail, by the way, about what's going on. That's between me and him, of what's going on in our personal lives, and I would prefer not you guys not pestering Chris about it either. So yeah. Anyway, let's get back on track. So Dark Knights of Steel was written by Tom Taylor with artwork by I have to look it up real fast. Artwork by I forget the artist's name. Yeah, but this is the deluxe edition of Dark Knights of Steel, and this is all 12 issues with all the like background stuff as well. For those who don't know what Dark Knights of Steel is about, Dark Knights of Steel is a Elseworld story. I always am a big sucker for Elseworld comics, and what this is kind of it feels like it takes elements of other Elseworld stories and applies them to this comic. And what I mean by that is that it really does feel like I've seen these elements before, but then again, every good story is copied off of another good story in one way or another. So the comic is that the planet of Krypton explodes and the rocket is sent to Earth. But two things. One, this is a medieval setting of the DC universe, and two, it's not just Kal that got sent to this Earth, it's Jor-El and Laura as well. Well, fast forward to Jor-El and Laura are now ruling the kingdom of the Waynes after they were tragically murdered by the Green Man, and they are now ruling in the midst of a hostile they're kind of having tension with the Kingdom of Storms, with who is ruled by Jefferson Pierce. And on top of that, the Amazons are also kind of no bueno with them either. So tensions are high, especially that, there's a prophecy going around of these characters. And it was a prophecy by Constantine. And now war is approaching through outside factors. This also leads to, Bruce Wayne, who is the bastard Bat Prince of the House of Els, and he's meant to protect the family because his parents' final words were the Els had to rule the kingdom because they were afraid Bruce could not rule because he's a bastard. Why is he a bastard? Well, it's kind of said in the first issue. He's Jor-El's actual son. Yeah. Kal and Bruce are actually brothers in this story, and also Kal has a sister, Zala, who is meant to be, I guess, our Supergirl stand-in. So the story is about that, and I really I love this medieval setting. Like I just said, I am always a sucker for Elseworld comics. And this one I was really dying to read because I had heard nothing but of great things, and Tom Taylor is just a phenomenal writer in his own right. The artwork in here is phenomenal. I absolutely enjoy, it's shit like this that just makes you want to stare at it for a while. Tom is also really good at talking about, a lot of political stuff. There's this great moment where there's a guy trying to get news out of the Els, and the Els are like, and he's like, "You're not going to arrest me or anything?" And Laura goes, "No, it's your job to keep us people in power politically sane, and also, to keep us from, gaining too much power, like an actual government." Anyway, so I did kind of lose the dust jacket, by the way. Sorry, but yeah. The comic is a 12-issue maxi series, and it goes in directions that you were not expecting. There are, like I said, we have Bruce, who is the son of Martha Wayne and Jor-El. And that whole thing gets you'd think it would be it would be crazy, and Batman is essentially Jon Snow in this comic, or should I say Bat Snow? Whatever. And there's a lot of great stuff. There's so many characters put in here, and there are straight up character deaths as well, and some of them were pretty shocking. I'm not going to spoil it, and also I'm not going to spoil who the outside malefactors are in this comic, because it's kind of integral and it's the last people you'd ever think. I will say, though, it's not Darkseid. I was like, as I read this book, I'm like, it's going to be fucking Darkseid again, isn't it? And I like Darkseid, but he's just used for everything. So I was like relieved when it was revealed who the villains were. And I was like, wow, that's really intelligent. And like how it utilizes the prophecy, and how they kind of explain it with these characters. I was like, oh, that's a relief. And there's a character among them from a cool Justice League story. That's all I'm really going to say. Yeah. There's also a lot of twists and turns with other characters, because not only, like I said, is Bruce the brother of Kal in this story, he's all like, there's also other characters who are merged into one character. Like, I don't want to spoil it, but there's like one character who's three rolled into one, another character who is actually someone else, and it's a lot. Like, there's twists and turns right up till the end. I will say, though, that it does kind of end on a plot thread that I hope we get a sequel to. I know there's a spin-off comic out there called Dark Knights of Steel Allwinter, which I do want to read. That one involves a Viking Deathstroke, which sounds really cool. But I'm hoping Tom Taylor comes back to do a sequel to this, and maybe that's how we get Medieval Darkseid. But I'm kind of not I kind of am like, it's refreshing not to see Darkseid as the big villain of these stories again. I will also say that there's, like, again, Wonder Woman and Supergirl are in a relationship. The characters are younger, like they're like mid-20s in this story, because Martha is Laura is still alive, Hippolyta. This has a lot of hope to it. It's not like a woe and despair. And you gotta hand it to him. After doing Deceased, you'd think Tom Taylor wouldn't be able to like do another, alternate universe story, and have that same kind of pizzazz to it. That's a word no one really uses these days, but trust me, he has all the pizzazz and razzmatazz. I'm gonna stop. But yeah, this is a great book. Absolutely love it. I love all the twists and turns and how they utilize the medieval setting. I will say, though, that I find it funny that even though, like I said, this is a medieval setting, it's not exactly like a comic that speaks phonetically. It's not like Marvel 1602, where the characters try to like speak phonetically of that era. It's a medieval setting. It's a fantasy setting. They can just do whatever. So, yeah, they can just say, they just kind of like, they don't go thou or whatever. They do have like they don't really have a medieval speak per se. But yeah, if you haven't already, I'd suggest getting this book. The deluxe edition, it just came out, and Allwinter is out too if you want to get that. I haven't read it yet, but yeah. So I highly recommend Dark Knights of Steel. But yeah, you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think? If you've read this book, let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of it. Chris, thank you once again for the comic. Other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.